Hey there guys, my name's Chris, and as you can tell from the title and length of this video, this is going to be all of my Bad Company 2 clips that I have saved right now. So, when I refer to something as a clip, it's basically something that would be used for a montage. And a lot of this stuff should probably be familiar, like this one right here. I think I actually used in 2 videos. This one I don't think I ever did use for anything. But any stuff that I thought would have been cool to save, I did. And I sort of put it all together a couple years ago, really, into this one big Final Cut file that is what I'm watching right now. It was just a thing I had to kind of keep track of everything, especially back when I was making montages a bit more frequently. Around, I think, 2012, I really wanted to get back into this, so I was making sure to just keep everything organized, make sure that I wouldn't repeat clips. And yeah, that's basically what this file is. But I found myself a lot of the time actually just coming back and watching this. It's a pretty nice collection of footage here, and it's really cool to see, so I figured I'd upload this since I can't really... It's not that I can't, but I'm not too interested in making montages anymore for this game. I mean, if it's something spontaneous like that last video that I uploaded around December, then yeah, but that was all one weekend where, honestly, I just got lucky and got a lot of clips. I don't think since then I have played, but I haven't been able to get much of anything interesting. So these are all in chronological order. What we're watching right here is a bunch of stuff that was recorded right after my Airborne montage. So that's sort of when this starts, around maybe May of 2011. And then once we get past around to the 5-minute mark or so is when we're gonna get into clips that I recorded on my Mac. So this stuff was all back when I was using an old laptop to record footage and edit things, so kind of a good reason why I never wound up using much of these clips back in the old channel. In fact, a lot of this stuff I don't think ever was used. It was always a pain, these files. They're different from the ones that I use now, since this was recorded back on the PC, and I put the footage in and just exported it clip by clip. Basically, making any kind of edit to this would require me having to render, which, it could be a pain, especially when you get used to how good the files are now. I always thought this clip was really funny. There's so many recon players right there. It's always good to see. I think that that last clip there was used in some kind of video. And I remember being a jerk in the description, being like, here's some stuff that's not the 4x scope. You happy now? Or something like that. And yeah, I mean, you could see over time I started to use the 4x a whole lot less, to the point where now just never use it. I would more if, like, I don't know, I turned off aim assist or something, but I don't know, people look down on it too much, and I kind of like the challenge of using the normal scope. But I won't deny that the whole auto-aim type of thing that DICE has going with this game, especially when using this scope on any weapon, but it's most effective with the snipers, yeah, it's dumb. I mean, look at that. Something seems fishy there. It's a decent amount of variety here. I believe that this clip was actually used in Retaliate, my last video, or at least I thought it would have been at the time. This is some Vietnam, but we're not getting into the bulk of my Vietnam footage until couple more minutes in. And I think, yeah, this is actually the first clip recorded on the Mac. So, I don't know, I don't think that there's any noticeable quality difference, but I do remember this. Crazy looking double headshot there. And this is interesting. This is when I started using the Quantic clan tag. And no, I don't think I used it as a joke, because my memory's kind of fuzzy on it, but for a while I think I was going to make a video for them. But then, for some reason, I got angry at them, and I don't remember why. I just remember there was some kind of thing going on where people were, like, picking sides with Battlefield content. It was really weird. Probably shouldn't let this clip go by without talking about it, because it was never used in a montage. That 4 headshots with the Rex thing, and it just doesn't look that good for a montage, really. I mean, some clips like this one just work a whole lot better. But yeah, as you could tell, we're already done with that clan tag, which is sort of how you could tell at what time I was recording these things. All this stuff is in the summer now, 2011. And that right there, that's one of my favorite clips. Like, 8 shots, 8 kills with the spaz. It was a really nice streak. And then of course we have some 4 times goodness. So when we get to this point, you'll notice that some of these clips, it almost seems out of order considering the montages that were made, but when I did, what did I make, like 3 montages that summer? I just had so many clips that I would just pick whatever I felt like editing at the time, so that's why some of these, like Retaliate, even had clips that were recorded back from when I was still using the old laptop. Just stuff I didn't feel like putting into videos yet. This is one of my favorite clips right here. I think this was the clip actually that I started with when I edited the new montage that would be the first upload on this channel. That was the clip that really got me excited to make another montage again. At this point I'm using PX3 as my clan tag, I think just for those last clips. And that was the headset that I had, and still have it right here. It was the days when this kind of thing was possible. Getting clips in this game, it's not impossible anymore, but finding full servers, and there's just not as many opportunities anymore. And even if there were, I'm not as good as I used to be, so I wouldn't be able to pull off this kind of stuff anymore. Which is kind of why I figured now would be a good time to do this video. Considering that I mean, I still play, but I don't play as much, and I probably won't get anything too crazy. Like this clip right here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I think that's the biggest sort of multi-kill I have on this game. Oh, here's a quad feed with the VSS if you ever thought you'd see one of those. Yeah. As I said, there's some good variety in this. I think that this might be one of the better sort of clip collections out there. I don't know how many people decide to put all their stuff together in one video and talk over it, but just considering everything that I've done in this game, it's always fun to watch it. Like, just take, I think these last 3 clips right here, these were all just in one session. Like, it's just weird how things used to be, how it was so much easier to get this stuff. And right there, that is my second triple. First one you could see in the Airborne montage. Should also talk about my clan tag here. That stands for Boris the Toucan, which was my old YouTube channel. I think I ran with that clan tag for a week or so, because that was probably at the point where I realized that deleting the old channel was pretty stupid. And I can't remember exactly why. I remember some things that contributed to that, like... Actually, I can't... I think at one point my dad knew about it, and I didn't want him watching my videos for some reason. I can't remember. I also wanted just a YouTube channel that was my PSN name, but it still doesn't make sense to me why to delete all those videos. It was dumb. So now we're getting into a lot of Vietnam stuff. And yeah, I just really got back into playing it. Really like using that M40. And Hill 137 is a really fun map, so there's all kinds of clips on this. A lot of this stuff would be used for the Retaliate montage, since it was about 30, maybe 40% of the clips were from Vietnam. Yeah, this gun was really fun to use. I don't know if the players in Vietnam just weren't as good, so it was easier to get them. Maybe it was the damage of the gun. I like to think it was how the thing handles. I mean, its sensitivity, like when you're scoped in, is higher. And the actual animation for scoping in and out isn't as awkward as the normal snipers in the vanilla game. Here's a fun little thing. Turns out that I never, in all of my days playing Vietnam, ever got a double headshot with the M40. It's weird because you see, especially the last little mini-tage I did, I get so many double headshots, but never at all with the M40 in Vietnam. This is my favorite clip ever, by the way. Yeah, that's just an example of everything going right. I don't even know if that's what I wanted to attempt, honestly. But yeah, I gotta say, I've watched a lot of Bad Company 2 stuff, and that clip right there is one of my favorite things I think anyone's done. And as you could tell, this is all in order, as I said, and that one clip that I was talking about, it was used in my analog montage, while a lot of this other stuff was used in Retaliate. So again, just editing whatever I felt like at the time. This clip right here, this was the first time I think I've seen anyone do this, so I thought it was really cool. I didn't know that, a few months later, just about any AT4 montage on PC would be would have clips like that, but I still thought it was a big deal at the time. It's fun to watch. There's a nice triple feed with the 1911. Those are always good. Yeah, man, this is my favorite kind of sniping right here. The M40, despite its crazy damage, I never seen too many people running around with that gun destroying everyone. Like you would see, you know, if somebody was running the same setup I'm using in this clip here, they'd probably be doing a bit better. Maybe just less people that snipe aggressively played Vietnam. Probably should have talked about that AT mine clip back there. That was... Can't remember the exact montage that was from. I'll probably link it now. But I saw that and thought, yeah, I should do that. I really wanted to do it again at some point in like 2012. But it never happened. There's a lot of Spaz 12 clips in here too. So again, this is still all in the summer. I played a lot of Bad Company 2. And pretty much every time I had an opportunity to play, I would check Vietnam first, because that's just where I had more fun. There was less automatic shotguns or motion mines. Just less stuff to worry about. So this clip right here, this is how I chose to end my last montage, or at least I thought it would be. Pay attention to the radar there. And 3 people. Now, I didn't mean to do that little 360 looking thing. It's kind of awkward, but when I usually flank people, I look behind for just a second to make sure they don't get shot in the back. But I remembered that I had a motion mine, so halfway through the rotation, I just kind of finished it. And it looks like a really awkward 360 triple, which is silly. I don't even know what just happened in that clip right there. There's so many things in that one room in White Pass. So again, this is just about anything that I thought would work in some kind of montage video. Not everything wound up making it, of course, but a lot of it did. And it was always fun to put together videos of just the leftover clips I had. This whole kill streak right here I thought was really cool. And again, this was how it was in the old days. I would be able to get all kinds of footage like this from just playing a few hours, and it sucks now that I can't really do that. The game's matchmaking doesn't work too well, so finding full games is very rare. Which of course is kind of essential for getting clips, really. Yeah, right here, this, didn't expect that. Also saw that a teammate had, at the same time, gotten a double headshot, but I don't think his would have been as cool looking as the little through the floor one I had there. And it just keeps going. At the 20-minute mark, and all of this right here was just a few months worth of recording. It's really crazy. And don't get me wrong, like, I played a whole lot more back then than I do now, but it was definitely a different feeling game sometimes. So this one here looks fake. Watch them just stop on the C4. Yeah. Thanks for that, guys. I don't think I ever used that in any video. Here's something on a harvest day. This map looks really good. Maybe it's just like, I don't know. I mean, I don't do much color correction. I just mess with the saturation a bit. But this game still looks really, like, good. Aside from the screen tearing that shows up in video footage of it. That really sucks. Yeah, that UMP and 1911 setup was like, if I wanted to just get insane clips, that would be one of the easiest setups to do it with. And this whole thing, this is sort of like 2 clips in one. By the way, that guy right there, who was in the closet, I'm pretty sure he was there the entire time. Like, when I was getting the first quad feed, I think you could hear that guy right next to me, and he just never turned around. So that's kind of funny. And right there, that was a triple and maybe quad fail. Never got one of those with the M40, but it doesn't have the same traits as the M95. A sniper rifle bullet, like a normal one, goes through somebody or some kind of object like a fence, it'll do less damage. So unless 2 people are really like right up in your face and you get them both in with body shots, using like the M24, then it's not going to be an instant collateral unless one of them are weak or something. But the M95 just doesn't have that, so you can get collaterals, triples, all that. The M40 does not do that despite its crazy damage in Vietnam. Also, that clip a few ones ago with the M93, that's one of my favorites too, just back-to-back double headshots with that. And now we are getting into right here. This is my first clips from coming back to this game. So basically what happened, I made my Retaliate montage, I stopped playing, I went to Battlefield 3 for a bit, I didn't like the game, I stopped playing, and then around December I just went back to Bad Company 2, and these were my clips from then. So I think soon enough we're gonna transition into 2012 footage, which about time really, because all of that right there before was from just one summer really. And that looked like it could have been a lot more interesting than a double headshot. So yeah, even after Battlefield 3 had come out, Bad Company 2 really wasn't that changed. Ever since like April 2011, the game's population was dropping. So empty servers or just bad matchmaking overall was kind of common back then. But I was still able to find good servers to play in with lots of people, and I could still get a lot of clips. So even after Battlefield 3, I was still getting good stuff. And I don't know why that one C4 didn't blow up there. That could have been a bit better there. Here is a nice... This is 4 kills, the XM8. As you could tell, I'm actually an engineer in that clip. So, yeah, I just picked up someone's XM8, turned around, and got all those kills, which is very nice. And this was actually the same game, I remember. Don't think this clip was ever used for anything. It was just kind of weird looking. I think actually most of this stuff was used in that Leftovers video. I think it's the only one of those that I made for this channel. This is a really nice clip right here. Of course, again, in that White Pass room. Using the grenade launcher as a shotgun. Here's some conquest on Port Valdez, of all things. And then some Rush. You see, I mostly played Rush. I never really... Only went to Conquest when I was feeling kind of desperate to find a game. And I don't think that more people actually play Conquest, but... sometimes it feels like it. Here's a random Vietnam clip. And this is a guy with a USAS. Who really, really sucks. And there's just a silly looking one right here with the C4. Yeah. This is one of my favorites. Again, just everything going perfectly. I'm sorry that I'm not really, like, totally commentating this whole thing. I really feel like a lot of the footage speaks for itself. But I am still considering that when I upload this, I will also have an uncommentated one. It'll take a while to render, but it should be worth it. I'd like to have all this stuff out there, especially if I'm not going to really do much with it. So this is again like around the time I started playing. Basically 2012, I still was playing a lot of video games, but I was mostly going back and forth between Skyrim and Bad Company 2. Mostly playing Skyrim, but if I wanted to play a multiplayer shooter, I would go on BC2. Sometimes I would not play for a few months, and sometimes I would... This would be all I do for like a week, so... Amazing how I missed that shot there. But 2012, I thought it was actually a solid year for my YouTube channel. I had a few montages, a few videos that hit nearly like 500 views. And I was able to be consistent. I only had 10 videos, but there wouldn't be like times where 3 months would pass and I hadn't uploaded anything. Like I did just last year, where I think it was 8 months that went by. Which was really bad of me. There's just something about clips where you're using the normal scope that's just a whole lot more impressive. You can't cover as much ground with it though, you can't be super aggressive. Here's some shotgun slugs. Again, I think, yeah, because I'm using engineer here, so I was trying to get some kind of AT mine little shoot clip, but didn't, and I just wound up getting pretty simple quad feed. Shotgun slugs are not hard to use. It's the damage of a sniper rifle, but without a scope, aim assist is still pretty good. Rate of fire is better. At this point now, we are in 2012, like the summer of it. Again, still played occasionally. Wasn't getting as many clips, but was still getting stuff. And still making a few videos. Those first 3 kills all made the headshot sound, even though only one of them was a headshot. Kind of random. This is one of my favorites here too. I just like clips with the Rex, especially when it's all headshots, because that's when that gun's best, really. It's not too reliable if you're going for 2-hit kills. I just tried to use it the other day when I was playing, and I'm so bad with it. I used to be like really good with that gun, as you've seen in some of these clips. Here's an SV98 thing for you. Almost 4 headshots. And here's another one. See, I sort of avoided using the SV98. It was just a little too common in Bad Company 2 montages. And I always preferred the M24. And the M40, of course. This might be one of the last 4 times clips on here. I think there's just a few more. Again, still a fair amount of Vietnam stuff on here. Nice no-scope there. I was never too great with getting really crazy shots like that. I would get lucky things, like in the middle of a clip if I go for a no-scope, sometimes they would work out. And there's another okay one. This was actually, these two were in the same game. It's fun to pull off little stuff like that. I think this actually is the last 4 times clip. But yeah, just look at what you could do with the thing. Of course I used it all the time. So now we're just about done with the 2012 stuff. Here's another great one. See, pulling off something like that just feels like that's really rewarding. Compared to those clips where you have a 4x scope and you sort of halfway zoom in to take advantage of the aim assist. And there's triple number 4? Yeah, I think so. And that's my first Xbox clip. So basically, the start of last year, I was curious. I had played Bad Company 2 again a little bit in the December. And then I just felt like, you know what, I have never played this game on Xbox, I wonder if it's any better. So, went ahead, ordered it, it wasn't too much money. I got the Ultimate Edition, even though it doesn't come with Vietnam, so that's lame. And Vietnam is still like $10 for an empty game for the most part. Really stupid, but basically I played Xbox for most of January, a bit of February, and then the rest of February and March I was playing PS3, and then that's when I sort of stopped for a very long time. Xbox, I like some things about it better, but I'm just not as good on it. It was nice to have a new account and be like, oh cool, I have a 600 score per minute. But using that controller, I mean, I'm not used to Xbox, so just wasn't as easy for me. Found it difficult to make little adjustments, especially like if you're aimed down the scope of a sniper rifle and you try to just move the crosshair a little bit to the right. Due to the analog sticks on the thing being kind of, first of all, having the huge dead zone, and also just being kind of resistive. It was difficult. So you see I'm using the shotgun a lot more on Xbox. I found that was what I was most successful with. But Xbox, it was about the same as PS3 population-wise. Here is triple number 5. First one and only one with the 40mm. And I think that might be the last thing for Xbox right there. And now we're on PS3 again. One of the things I will say about Xbox though, I didn't prefer it as much, but you were able to use, I think, the dashboard or something like that. I'm not too familiar with the terms, but you could join the session in progress of someone on the other team, and you would basically be able to switch teams. So I would find myself doing that a lot, because especially the way this game is now, the teams can be really unbalanced, so oftentimes whatever team I'm on is like, if they're totally destroying them, I could be like, okay, I could just switch teams. I'd keep my score and all that, and it would be more of a challenge for me, and the game would just be more balanced. I really wish you could have done that on PS3. I think there might have been some way to do it. I remember this guy. I don't know if he's still around actually, but Shazer was this guy. I would play with him on PS3 a lot, and he would be able to switch teams, just like how he described on Xbox, but he never told me how to do it. So, I don't know. I guess the secret dies with him wherever he is now. Wherever anybody who made Bad Company 2 videos is. We're just about done here for 2013 clips, believe it or not. Well, actually, the rest of this is 2013. There's no 2014 clips on here. I have played a bit, but haven't gotten any. It's a bit more difficult to get stuff, as I've said. We even have some Vietnam on here. Even though this is the most common Vietnam game you'll get into these days is... What map is that? Khao San Temple. And the other team is just gonna hide in their base. And make themselves really easy to snipe because nobody else can snipe in Vietnam for whatever reason. No scope. So yeah, all of these clips right here, I mean, this is basically my Leftovers 125 video. None of this stuff was ever used in a montage, and probably won't ever be used. I would still like to... I mean, you're seeing this collection here. You can't just let this go to waste, right? So, it's almost some kind of pressure to make something of all of this. There's so many good clips in this. This is one of the best collections of footage for this game there is, and it's just, I can't do it, man. I should probably be talking more over these ones, since this is all stuff we've seen. This clip right here, this was the last thing I got before I started playing again just last December. And yeah, I thought it was a really cool one, so I actually put it in I sent it to the Battlefield Top Plays, and Big Mooney commentated it, which that was a nice little flashback, since that's what I did a lot back in the old days. If you want to see any of my clips on there, you could check out a playlist on my channel called Stuff I'm In. And these clips right here are things I got in December. The chopper no-scope a few months ago, that was sometime in the summer where I just popped on the game for an hour and got a random awesome no-scope. So we're just about done here, guys. Thanks for watching. If you made it through this whole thing in like one sitting, in multiple ones, if you just skipped to the ending, whatever. Hopefully you enjoyed watching all my clips. And man, I really don't want to see this game go. I really hope that it could get some kind of next life, that DICE could release some sort of patch to fix the matchmaking, that maybe with this whole, what is it called, the PlayStation Now thing that lets you play older games, maybe, I don't know, you could be playing this on PS4 or something. This is the best game I've ever played. This is the game I've played the most, and I really hate to see it go. So, gonna end on that last double headshot, and see you guys.